And what's going on, everybody? And we are logging on to episode 154 of the podcast. We got a very special episode for you guys, as always, as I'm joined by my co-host Luke Gans. Thanks for being here, buddy.
What's good, man? How you doing?
Good. Listen, I'll tell you what, 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, we're keeping it
going,
man.
and I'll, I'm sure you know this from the schedule and whatnot, but to let the viewers know too, like the next couple episodes, it's gonna be me and you face to face,
chaos,
talking movies.
That's it. Hey, listen, that's why we started.
That's why we started it.
That's why we started this shit. That's where we'll die talking about movies in a fucking mental institution.
Well, yeah, we'll die on that hill.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for me being like 95, being like, you should have seen Dune 2 in theaters in IMAX. Shut up, Grandpa. I've got it uploaded in my arm. You know, however they fucking ingest movies in the future, but
yeah, that would actually be a funny dude. And an old duo would be hilarious if they like filmed their podcast.
Oh my god, it would be so funny. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Like,
and their guests are other residents of the elderly.
Trying to turn on how the look.
I think that would be sick.
Look at this.
That would be pretty funny. What do you call it?
Look at this. My wife is calling me. Can I call you back? Hello. Hello. Okay. Well, never mind. My wife.
So the agenda for today, for you guys watching, we got our movie trivia game with the cards, per usual. Then we're going to do a little news roundup this week. And then we're going to do our top 5 favorite parody movies, which is, they were relevant at one point in time, but, it's more of a nostalgia thing, this one, right?
And in the news roundup, they're coming back. I don't know if you heard, they're saying a scary movie reboot.
At CinemaCon, they just announced that a new one was in the works.
Yeah, I guess I'd be fine if these go to Netflix.
Yeah, that's kind of like where it deserves to be.
HBO, I think if HBO got...
Nah, well, I think that's a little reaching. Because HBO puts out great content.
But that's where I'm saying, make it a good one.
Even if it is good.
Yeah, but so think about it this way. I don't know if you watch Curb, but Curb, I talked about it last. Curb just ended. Bro, Curb is so fucking good. Make something scary movie, Seinfeld Curb-esque. Not a spoof-wise, but make something along those lines. I would love a Curb movie. That would be fucking hilarious.
Personally, that's how I really think they should have ended it. Like most shows, I think.
The ending was really solid, so I won't. Yeah, it was very good. I was very happy about it, but
these movies, these parody movies, they could be really good, but as far as the creative they're cheap laughs.
Cheap laughs. It was 70s to 2000s. That was correct. Really the era of those.
Right, and I think the people making those movies, they probably thought that this is gonna last forever. New movies are coming out. We could spoof every movie, popular movie that comes out. But then they just got worse and worse to the point where nobody was going to the theater.
Is the 2000s the worst period of movies ever?
Great question. It might be.
I feel like it might be.
It might be. I would really need a deep dive and look up
Name a 2000s movie now.
Journey to the Center of the Earth. Not that great.
But even Batman Begins, that came out in the 2000s.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about a good one.
No, but I'm saying, isn't that funny that you don't think of a good one when you think of 2000s? You think of you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least that's me. When I think of 2000s movies, I'm like,
I think there was a lot of
Alamo.
There was a lot of experimenting going on with movies in the 2000s, with the parody movies and the and the 3D movies.
Oh my god!
And you have this
My Bloody Valentine.
Oh,
remember that in 3D? That was 2000 and
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. 2003.
My Bloody Valentine.
No, later.
Yeah, it's 2008.
Also, though, in the 2000s. Oh, wow. What is it?
No, Bloody Valentine is 2003. There's no way My Bloody Valentine was 2003.
I don't know. That's kind of what just popped in my head.
All right, you keep. I'm gonna look.
All right. Well, the 2000s was also the birth of the MCU. In 2008, we got the first Iron Man. So that's a big positive. That's a big positive there. But
2009.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That wasn't crazy.
What do you call it?
Birth of the MCU.
The birth of the MCU. I mean, the Dark Knight trilogy also started in the 2000s.
There's a lot of good stuff there, but it's a lot of bad. Like
exactly,
it is a lot of
buries all the good because
well, here's the thing. I think with movies, it's funny because you don't ever look at a time period for movies.
No,
you don't. I mean, like you were gonna say maybe the 2010s to the 2020, like to 2020 was an interesting time. 2010s to 2000 whatever. But like you're not really you're just gonna be like, oh my god, that was such a good time in film, like a good time in movies.
And I think that's because it all blends.
Of course, it all blends.
Blends in.
I mean, think about it. My 2021 movie or 2022 movie of the year was a fucking movie from 2021. Too, so,
no, exactly.
It all blends. Yeah, but that's also different. That was COVID. All that shit was. That was a 3-year period. That was a 1-year period. Yeah. So fuck off. But.
Before we get into our top 5 for the parody movies, we'll start it up with our trivia game. Right now, Luke, you have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17.
Let's run it.
And I have 15. You're up by 2. You could do the honors.
This one.
Oh, yeah. Is that way. Yep. All right. Go ahead. Choose whatever one. Oh, this is fucking bullshit. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
This is good for me, I guess, then.
All right, go. I mean, the first question is what
is the title of the film?
Yeah. Wow.
Which way is this?
Dude, what?
Is this the right way? No, yeah. I didn't see anything, don't worry. If it's any consolation, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even by looking at the name of it?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna go.
I know, but I don't.
Right. Okay.
Makes sense.
But like if you were looking at that, no way, right?
No.
I'm gonna go with the biggest stretch, Matt. It looks like a depressing movie just by how her eyes are.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with something like. Oh fuck, man. What's it? Fuck it. I know this isn't right. The Blind Side.
No.
Okay.
What is the name of the actress in the picture? Because I don't know if I can tell you, right? I can't give you the answers now that you got them wrong. I don't know if that's what we've been doing.
I think that is what we've been
doing. Is it? Okay, I'll give it to you. So it was the Royal Tannenbaums.
Would have never. I don't even know what the fuck
exactly,
that is.
that's what I said.
I don't know.
Do you know
I mean, the next... Yeah, no, that didn't help me whatsoever.
Do you want me to tell you the actress?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, it's Gwyneth Paltrow. Which
Gwyneth,
no, I don't think so. Gwyneth, they really fucked you up there.
They fucked her up in that picture.
Gwyneth, come on the pod. That is unfair.
But now that you're saying that, like just maybe some facial features.
Yeah,
it kind of does. All right, go ahead.
Director.
Is that the next? All right. With Gwyneth Paltrow, I'm gonna go with something like Jude Apatow.
No. Ooh, you're going to be real bummed. It was Wes Anderson.
Okay. I mean, there would have
been...
With
a name like Royal Tannenbaums, though, you should have, like...
Yeah, true.
Right. Okay. What street does the Tannenbaum family live in New York City?
What street?
Yeah.
I
mean, if you get this, I'll just end the game. Like I will. There is no, unless you're just flexing on me and you know it.
No. I'm just gonna say 42nd Street,
111 Archer Ave.
Yeah. What the fuck? That was a big dud on my part. That's the worst performance I've ever.
That's very important for me. If I get a good one here.
Oh man, I hope I draw a good one right now. That was bad. That might be the hardest one in the deck. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Ah!
Oh, okay. I would have gotten at least some here. All right. Title of the film.
Black Swan.
Correct.
Got him.
Yeah, okay. Name of the actress.
Natalie Portman.
Correct, yes.
Got him.
All right. So, wait,
It's 2.
Yep. Boom. That's not good.
Your boy's so back.
All right.
This is the extent of our I'm going to know.
All right, here we go. Hardcore. Natalie Portman met her future husband, Benjamin Millipede, when making the film. What was his role in the production? Or Millipede? Benjamin Millipede?
Producer.
No, choreographer.
Fuck.
Good guess, though. All right, and the last one for 3. Which famous ballet is Natalie Portman's character preparing for during the film? I'm happy that you're thinking a good amount about it, but I'll give you the slightest hint of don't think too hard.
The Swan Lake.
Very good.
Oh!
Very
Let's
good.
Fucking go.
So 1, 2, 3.
I was thinking. I kept saying Black Swan in my head, and I'm like, why am I not computing with what the fuck this needs to be?
Right.
I was about to say the Nutcracker, and I was like, please don't fucking say Nutcracker, bro. I was like ready to go.
You got 22, and I'm stuck at 15.
That's big.
You got a nice lead.
Big.
Once again.
Big.
But we'll see what happens next week with an ultimate catch-up once again. Maybe we need Zach here. Maybe he's my good luck charm.
Listen, Zach, don't ever come on the pod again. Ever again.
All right, we're going to do our little news roundup. We got 2 things on here. We'll save the best for last. But the first thing I wanted to bring up was Quentin Tarantino. He cancels his supposed final film, The Movie Critic, who is supposed to feature Brad Pitt's character from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Which I'm bummed about because I loved that movie. I really did.
Cliff Booth. And he canceled it. Now, I have a couple theories on it, or a couple of ways he decided to cancel it. The first thing I want to say, I'll start off by saying this about it. He could attempt to make a bad thing.
He can't.
He can't.
No.
So I'm not saying what he was making during the process of The Movie Critic was anything bad. I can't say that.
Yeah.
But for it being his supposed final film, he probably wants it to be better, and maybe that's why he's going a different route and choosing a different story of his. That's suggestion number 1.
Can I? I don't want to spoil what you're. Are you gonna say something about what you think it's gonna be?
Oh, well, I could guess real quick. Star Trek?
No. Star Trek? You think it's him?
Oh, dude, he's been.
Really?
Oh, not like the fourth in that franchise.
No, yeah.
He's been developing a Star Trek thing for a while now.
Oh,
no,
never
happened.
But a movie, not like a movie.
Like
no. But his like I'm saying, his final movie in his filmography of whatever.
Are you suggesting a sequel to something? Mm-hmm. I don't think he's gonna do a sequel. But
you don't think he's gonna do Kill Bill 3?
No, I don't. Kill Bill.
But Kill Bill is his most. Don't you think it's his most well known, or if not Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction is definitely the most well known, and I think a close second to that is Reservoir Dogs. But
I think Kill Bill's more famous than Reservoir Dogs.
I don't know. Kill Bill is more appearance-wise, more recognizable.
Someone's going to notice the jumpsuit over anything from Reservoir Dogs, in my opinion.
That's without a doubt. But as far as what more people saw, I think it is Reservoir Dogs over Kill Bill.
Really?
I think so.
I don't think viewership with that. I don't know. Maybe. I think Reservoir Dogs is a cult classic, but I don't think. I mean, is there a way to look it up? Maybe.
I wouldn't even say look up box office because that's kind of not fair. Because it's been so long. Like, so many people have probably watched it after its box office run and everything like that, you know? I don't know how you would be able to measure that, necessarily.
I guess here, I'm looking at Quentin Tarantino right now, seeing if we can get any...
And as far as The Movie Critic, that actually is my one and only suggestion. I think... Or actually, no. The other option is that this Movie Critic movie is probably something he's been wanting to do for a long time. It means a lot to him.
Yeah.
But then he probably realized, like, is this going to be as popular as it is to me to audiences around the world?
Well, I mean, I would...
His final movie. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I would think so, but I mean, that's just me. I mean, like, I loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought it was great.
It was good.
I think Tarantino has that Tarantino-esque film-like to him where people are going to go see it. People are going to go see it. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, Tarantino is, in my opinion, Tarantino and Nolan hold more power in their directing than Scorsese does. And I know that sounds crazy, but I don't think Scorsese fans are running to the box office. I think Tarantino fans are, and I think Nolan fans are.
I will 100% agree with you with that.
Yeah. Like, again, and it's different. Like, right, Scorsese earlier started, a long time ago. Like, it's different.
Yeah.
things have changed now, the way that directing has went, but I think those guys have cult followings of it, where again Scorsese does too, but those people are 70, 80, and again some people like him like us, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I just think there's a younger demographic following Nolan and following Tarantino, where they're gonna it doesn't matter. You're gonna go see The Hateful Eight. You're gonna go see Inglourious Basterds. You're gonna go see all the Inception.
The proof is also in the pudding, because Killers of the Flower Moon didn't do
well.
At the
he just made another long movie.
It was long.
Listen, and this is for the movie I was most excited about the year, and my life got crazy. I didn't see it. I tried to start watching it, and I was like. And I'm a big, long movie guy. Yeah. But there's a difference between a long, good movie and a long movie to be a long movie. Right. And I'm one of the more large haters of Scorsese now, because I'm so, like I've said, I'm tired of his bullshit narrative of fucking the Marvel and the superhero shit.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, you don't, comment. Like, it aggravates me so much, because it's just... And you're allowed your opinion.
Of course.
But with someone of that weight,
know.
You're putting down the people that could enjoy a movie of another genre that they might not.
Yeah, that was
because of what it is. Yeah. And for me, like, bro, just shut the fuck up. Like, you're towards the end of your career. Right. There's going to be people that are going to continue to direct past your time.
Yeah.
And guess what? The Irishman, Killers of the Flower Moon, those older looking style, longer movies, they're kind of going away. I mean, Dune was just a long movie, but that's more towards Star Wars, which you like to shit on.
Franchise.
Right? So, I mean...
And I don't even necessarily think that's a great thing. I think there should be, independent stories.
Yeah, but
which actually, I'm actually leaning more towards now than I was, say, 5 years ago when the hype of Endgame.
I agree, but I think Dune is in a good spot, though, because, like, as much as they're making... I
don't consider Dune, like, this...
A franchise, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they're doing 3 movies, and then they're going to do a couple shows, but it's not going to be, in my opinion, it will not be around for as long as Marvel has been around or Star Wars has been around.
I think you're right.
If it does, then great. I love it. There's enough content. You can really build off of it. And those other books that were written by his son, you could do whatever the fuck you want with them.
Yeah, I don't know if they're considered canon to people or
they're
whatever.
Not to the book fans, but like, again, you could do whatever you want. If
or at least add some elements to
if there is a good enough story built in the third movie and you end it and it makes sense and it's good, you do whatever you want. Make a TV show, I'm fine with that. And because again, it has the appeal. People love it. It was an amazing hit. I mean, it's still doing stupid numbers at the box office.
I know.
It is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Every time I come on this podcast, I will talk about it. But for me, it really pissed me off for him to say that. Like, look, not every Marvel movie is a hit. Am I going to always try to hope that Marvel or Star Wars is good because that's my thing, that was my childhood? 100%. Like, I'm always going to hope that it's a good content.
Of course.
It's not always going to be, and that's just how it is. Every one of his movies has not been a hit.
I don't even think that's what Scorsese was necessarily saying by that.
No, it's just he's a loser. He's a loser.
I think he was more saying the whole thing of not hating on franchises, but how franchises depend on that same formula and everything, and just it's an automatic money maker, like it's almost like a cheat code. I think that's what he was.
But he also sold out to Netflix. He sold out to Netflix and to Apple TV.
Well,
so how can you?
I don't know what that means though.
But you didn't. Well,
you didn't make franchise.
You didn't go to theaters with. Irishman, because you went to theater. Well, it was COVID, right, or whatever. Select theaters, or was it out of COVID?
I think it was out of COVID, but it was purposely for Netflix.
But
hey, he got a good chunk of change.
Of course,
purposely because he just put it on Netflix.
That's not why you direct movies. You don't direct movies to get a paycheck. You direct movies to make a good movie, and you love it.
Yeah.
Now, my point with him is that he's the first person to throw the stone while he's sitting on a fucking pile of money collecting that check.
Yeah, right.
Killers of the Flower Moon was there, but I think it also went to Apple TV pretty fast. So,
it might have. I don't know.
I think it was in the movies for a little bit, but it went to Apple TV pretty fast.
That's surprising me too, because Leo's in it and everything too, and
Well,
Robert
again,
De Niro.
It's a long movie that didn't get initial great reviews, and it didn't, in my opinion, have a ton of It didn't really get the greatest advertising going.
No, it
into
didn't.
it.
You're right.
So
it didn't.
You know, I mean, it was on it was on scale with The Revenant, and I loved Revenant. I thought it was awesome. Like, I do think he deserved it, and like again, there's other cases to be made about Leo deserving it in other movies.
Yeah.
And was it we owe you one? Yeah, but also he was great in that movie. So in my opinion, I always fight that argument. Like, people are always like, oh, he didn't deserve it for that. I'm like, yeah, he did, and he deserved it for a couple others probably.
Sure.
But it is what it is. He got that. He deserved it. It is, it's fine. So I don't know. I'm just a Scorsese hater because of that. Again, I respect all of everything he's done. I just don't like it because we're having a hard enough time as movie people now getting people to go watch a 2-hour movie
in the theater.
So it's like you are just hurting people that you do that, because then you say, I hate this, I hate that. Bro, some of the best Star Wars content that has come out in the past couple years has been cartoons.
I know. Yeah.
It's been animated cartoons. So, and some people are going to view that as bad. Some people are going to view that as good.
Right.
I've always loved Clone Wars. I've always loved Bad Batch, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Andor was great. Like, all this is great. But Disney, in my opinion, did really bad with Star Wars. Then they kind of scaled back and they said, ooh. They said, yeah, we still definitely have to go and make our thing that makes us the money and the cash grab, which they did with a couple shows. Yeah. But then also they went and made good content during it. Bad Batch is still really good.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan had one memorable scene that made it really good.
Yeah.
Ahsoka was fine. It wasn't my favorite, but Andor was really good. So I get that you don't like that, but they're at least trying and innovating, but you're shutting people down by having them be like, oh, like, I don't want to go watch that Scorsese shit on it. Like, it's not...
I think, for me, what bothers me the most about that is that you're downing other people's opinions. Which apparently is a majority opinion.
It's a movie. Like, you're making fake things on a camera. Like, that's what you're doing. That's your job. Your job has been to make a script for a fucking fictional or a biopic fake thing that you're then putting out to the masses for us to enjoy.
Yeah.
And you're criticizing someone else that's doing something.
Same thing, basically.
You can criticize someone if they fucking did 10 Infinity Wars in a row, and they just kept bringing Robert Downey Jr. back to keep getting a cash grab.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm on board. I get that. I'm tired of this. I'm over it. That's not what they're doing. They're at least trying. Unfortunately, they're not having a ton of success as of late with Marvel, right? They swung and they missed in a couple.
Yeah.
But like I said last week, and like we're about to probably talk about, I think they're back. I really do. I really think Marvel is finally like, all right, we got to take the gloves off. Like, this isn't, we cannot do this this bullshit anymore. And I think Marvel and Star Wars are in a very similar boat where they're like, listen, we're always going to put out that content that works for some people, but we got to take these fans to the next level because we gave them everything and then we gave them nothing.
Right.
Right. And again, I liked some of the content that's come out. I don't hate it all.
Me too.
But it was a step down. It was,
without
regardless
a doubt.
of whatever. It's a step down. So we need to bring it back to that level. And I think where they're doing by tuning it back, making it more violent, making it more realistic, bringing more things in.
I'll
really
eat up
think
all
that's
day.
going to do such a great thing for that.
Yeah.
So Scorsese, I don't appreciate what you said. Message my people if you want to get in touch with me and we can have a conversation, sit down about it. But
quick thing about Scorsese and Leo, they're both being attached to this Frank Sinatra project, with Leo being Frank Sinatra.
Oh, that's great. Leo's now 50. I love Leo, but like,
I mean, I don't know. I think that's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be really cool.
I think a younger him
and Jennifer
good.
Lawrence is going to be the wife in the movie.
I think a younger Sinatra would have been so much better. I think you have such talented
do the
young
de-aging
actors.
stuff. They might. Who knows?
If he does that and de-ages, I'm going to shit on him for the rest of my fucking life for the fact that he can shit on Star Wars and Marvel things.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
And
I didn't even think about that.
If he de-ages something, I will forever be
that's
like,
a Marvel
such a
formula right there.
Loser.
They did it for everyone in Marvel, like Hank Pym and Stark.
Oh, whatever. Gotta let that out. Get my Scorsese bullshit out for the day.
So we'll move on to the last thing on the news roundup, which is Marvel related. As of yesterday, as this pod is being filmed, the new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer came out. It came out earlier in the day yesterday. I was working, dying to get home to watch it and film a reaction for it, which I did. And I loved it, dude.
Oh, bro.
I loved it.
So good.
The music, first off, the song they chose, I forgot the name of the song, but it's a classic one.
Madonna?
Yeah. I
not
forgot.
Like a Virgin. It's...
I forgot what it was.
Yeah,
great song to choose for it. They made it so dramatic and then it picks up into this groove while they're just murdering people.
Oh, it's
awesome.
gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
The let's fucking go comments from both of them.
So good.
Awesome.
It's gonna be.
And then a lot of Easter eggs, dude, from MCU sprinkled in there. Like,
and
did you see
X-Men?
Well, that's. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, a lot of X-Men characters.
X-Men characters.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of Easter eggs in that one scene where it's Ant-Man's giant helmet opening up, and you see his skull and everything.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Dead.
Right.
Dead in this universe. Ant-Man is dead in this universe. Confirmed.
No. You want to know what I think they're at when that happens? The Abyss, like in the Loki seasons.
Like a lie.
Like when you get pruned.
So you think Ant-Man got pruned? That
version of Ant-Man got pruned. And died.
That could.
I think that's where they are. All those scenes when Deadpool and Wolverine are fighting each other. I think they're in the Abyss where
you get pruned.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I 100% think so. I think that's why the 20th Century Fox logo is there.
Very funny.
Why would it not
Hilarious.
be there? Or where else would that be in the world?
Who do you think's opening the portal?
Ooh, that's a great question. I really do hope it's fucking Doctor Strange. If he's the first MCU character that introduces Deadpool into the world, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, that makes the most sense.
Do you know who they're saying they
Wong?
think it's going to be? Keep going.
Okay. No, Ned?
They're saying they think it's going to be Ned practicing.
Fuck.
You think so?
No,
I thought that'd be fine.
I hate that.
You know why
I hate that?
You know, I'd like Doctor Strange, but you know why I'd find it funny if they did Ned? If Ned was practicing, they jump through and they like fucking shit on him.
That would be hilarious.
I think that would be so funny. Like, who's this fat fuck? Like,
right.
Like, not body shaming. We don't body shame.
No body shaming here. But no, or it is okay. Now I'm starting to lean more towards the idea because if Ned accidentally brings him into the universe, then it's really all Ned's fault for bringing this disgrace of a superhero into the main universe.
Or again, I like the Doctor Strange
and
theory.
Wolverine.
I like the Ned theory because I think with Ned you could really play it off
as a big joke.
You could play it off with a big joke,
yeah.
And they could even be like, they could jump through, see him, and be like, "We're not getting canceled today because he's a kid." Like he could be in his room, and they could jump in, and be like, "We're not getting canceled," and they could jump out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that would be funny.
I think that would be hilarious if you did something like that, and then they try to find like another portal or whatever. Like, hey, make another one, get us out of here, kind of.
I mean, who else really does do that in the MCU? Like,
the only other thing is they could do an alternate Doctor Strange, like something from one of the What If shows.
Yeah,
like
but I do hope that's the
Wanda.
portal into.
If it was Wanda,
yeah, but Wanda doesn't have the.
I know that,
thing.
But I'm like.
And Wanda's apparently dead. I don't think they would bring her back just for that. I think she'll come back in a big reveal moment or something
Breaks my
like
heart.
that.
That's my girl.
You know,
love you, Wanda.
A lot of great shots in that.
Good.
When that music starts and they're walking down the street together in slow motion too. Fantastic.
Dude,
that's great. I got a little bit of chills there.
The cocaine references at the end were fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was hilarious too.
Hilarious. Like,
there's gonna be a lot of jokes like that where they're gonna poke fun at Disney. Who's like, listen, I know you don't like this, but we're gonna fucking do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be a lot of that. I'm
so excited. I'm really so excited. I really think it's gonna be so good. I mean, listen, people that are doubting Feige don't understand what he's brought this from.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Right. Like, even us. Like, I think we've probably had some teetering moments, more you than me, because I'm always confident. I'm always a positive person. I'm the most positive person ever. Believe me, no one's more positive than me. I'm the most positive ever. No one's been more positive than me. I'm the positive guy.
Gotcha.
But, he brought this from shit.
He brought what from?
Hulk.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2. Not 1, but 2.
2 was pretty bad. 3 was a little bit of a step up.
But the beginning was rocky. Very rocky.
Except
Thor
for the first
came out
Iron Man.
Fine. Thor came out. The first Thor was fine.
First
the next
Thor
one,
was
you're
fine.
Like, oh.
No, Captain America 1 was pretty good, too.
No, Captain America was good, but I'm saying Thor 2 and 3. Or Thor 2 specifically
bad. Iron Man 2, bad.
So, but that's what I'm saying, though. Like,
everything else was
even
pretty
Iron Man
solid.
3, fine, but...
Fine, yeah. Just fine.
So, but I'm saying... They didn't have their footing for a while. Then we got blessed with Age of Ultron,
nice.
Of course. But it's again, we didn't have TV shows in the middle. We didn't have
and they
all
also
this other stuff.
They also weren't scrambling at that time when things did miss.
No,
like now I think they are scrambling a little bit.
Well, and I don't also think they really. I mean, they were kind of lucky.
It's not their fault either because of Jonathan Majors and this, that, the other
But that's
thing.
what happens when you have a smaller cast. Like you don't have as many movies, so there's not as
many
many
cast. They expanded to 20 characters since Endgame, and they're all terrible.
Give or take.
She-Hulk, America Chavez, like I can't. They're so unmemorable to me. Like I don't care what happens to them. Miss Marvel, like
I'm not a fan of Miss Marvel. I'm not a fan of American Chavez. America Chavez was again not really anything for me. I mean. I think Marvel's best way to play these off would just be to show that there's more people than we thought getting involved with this whole having powers, doing whatever. Like, just making it like, okay, cool, more people have it. Maybe they're not going to be main superheroes and stuff, but, like, I liked the Hawkeye series. Like, I liked
Kate
that.
Bishop
like,
is
Kate
probably
Bishop,
one of the
I think,
only
is really
good new characters that came out of it.
I think Wanda's
since
kids
Endgame.
are good. Like, I think they did a really good job there.
Good.
Like, I think you're going to do a good job casting them when they get a little older.
Yeah,
like,
or it could just be them. Yeah,
as they get older, maybe.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, since WandaVision, and then you see them in Doctor Strange 2.
Listen,
like, you can tell they grew up.
I have faith in Secret Wars, man. I think they're gonna. I
have faith in it.
You know, we're talking Deadpool. We're talking Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
We're talking Secret Wars. We're talking.
Hopefully, Daredevil is a big plus.
Daredevil's the show, though, right? Not a movie.
It's a show, but it's still all connected there.
But you like Daredevil, so I don't think they're going to do a bad job with it.
Yeah, it's just hard for me when it's coming off of probably the best superhero show on ever.
Who?
Daredevil, the Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like,
so you're just saying it's continuing from that show.
They are continuing it, but it's in different hands now. Like, even if it
is
good...
Is no one the same?
No, like everyone's the same.
No. Writer, directors. No. Okay, I get that.
That's what I'm saying.
I
like,
thought wasn't the director originally on? Did maybe he leave?
No, that they fired just basically everybody when they wanted to make it not the Netflix Daredevil, but still Charlie Cox. Does that make sense to you? Like,
it does, but
anyway, all I'm trying to say is, even if that show is decent, I'll still be pissed because it isn't as good as what it was.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, but look at it the same way. Like I always tell people this with Thrones. Like, bro, we got such a good show.
Yeah.
And was the last 2 seasons not great? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the people that look back and they're like, "Oh, Thrones is so bad because those last seasons."
I don't agree with that.
You're an idiot.
We've talked about that.
Idiot.
But yeah, right. They are idiots for thinking that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, with Daredevil, just give it its time because, like you said, it is such a good show. And, I mean, it's going to always be a cult classic.
Yeah.
If they don't do it, then great. If they do it, then it's even better, right? Like, it is what it is. Because I think they're going to, because I think they're leaning into Deadpool. I think they're leaning into this more realistic.
And the new Daredevil is definitely going to be rated R because Echo is rated R.
And look at Echo was solid, and so was Hawkeye. I liked Hawkeye.
Yeah, but that wasn't rated R though.
No, but I'm saying that got you towards Echo.
No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying with the lead up to it.
Yes, but not the violence. Not even
just that. I hated Echo in
really?
Hawkeye.
Oh,
I was like, why are you making a show?
I liked. I didn't mind Echo. I thought it was fine.
No, the show itself.
That's what I'm saying, though. No.
Her introduction in Hawkeye, it's like, now you're gonna make a show out of this most character.
I didn't like that immediately, but they made it good, so. That's fine.
So now I'm seeing your point.
Yeah, my point is just you got it because again, Hawkeye led us to that. Did we think she was going to be the one? No, I thought it was just going to be Daredevil. Like I really did.
Right.
Or something else. But I was like, oh, cool. And then they made it. Again, I like it. It's a little bit of inclusivity, which is nice. I like that. I think the I don't want to mishandle this and say the mute/deaf community is not as represented in that. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was really awesome.
Definitely, as far
and
as
not only that,
and whatnot,
you made it a good story. You made it a good concept,
Yeah.
and you made it violent as shit, which not a lot of people saw coming.
No.
On the other hand, where She-Hulk, I mean,
the biggest goof.
It wasn't any violence. There was no violence in it. You know what I mean?
Embarrassing thing.
But and that's what I'm saying. So like, as much as we were shitting on Echo, we're like, damn, okay, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
Then we're like, oh, that was kind of solid.
The only other two things I'm a little rocky on right now, as far as upcoming things for Marvel movie wise, are Thunderbolts and the new Captain America movie.
See, Captain America, I get it, but I'm not Thunderbolts. I'm in on, bro. I think
the only reason why I'm thinking that is that there's definitely been some sort of behind the scenes drama as far as how the script's going, actors dropping.
Because the chain. Who? Steven Yeun.
A couple actors dropped out of Thunderbolts.
Steven
Yeun, who's that's my man right there. He's
who else?
Not just Glenn. He's Invincible. But
I heard about that show.
It's excellent.
No, I'm kidding. I know.
Okay. What do you call it? No, there was this woman that dropped out too, who was going to play a pretty pivotal role, and that's why I brought up they were scrambling a little bit too because of stuff like that.
But it could have been that it could have been that when they got the team together, it just didn't work with the villain. And that, honestly,
maybe.
Think about it that way, though. It's 5 or 7 people going up against one bad guy. So it's easier to recast a bad guy than 9 or... okay, this person dropped, this person's in, this person's out.
Yeah.
Those characters are already established. So if you don't like the way that someone is acting or performing or has differences in that point, I'm all in on that because I think that's the right move. And I'm happier that they did it.
Agreed.
Because, listen, could it mean... iceberg ahead? Sure.
Maybe.
But I'm more confident that it doesn't, and it was just like, hey, we had the guys, we had the girls, we had everybody ready to go, and it just didn't work out with that side. Right. Which it happens in movies, I mean, some people it just doesn't work out for, and sometimes it works out in the right way, and some people it work. Look at Cillian Murphy. He was almost Batman.
I know. And he still played a great role in that.
And that's, and that's sometimes how that stuff goes. So, we'll see. I also had a piece of news roundup. If there's anything else for Deadpool Wolverine, I'm so excited. We could make a whole entire thing about it. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come up as better than Deadpool 2. I don't think
100%.
It'll beat Deadpool 1.
It might, in my opinion. Even though Deadpool
I hope it does. I would love that. I would really love if it beats Deadpool 1, but I just think Deadpool 1 was just such a good intro to the MCU of being like, ooh,
100%.
We're there. Like, we're finally starting to, like,
100%.
that ball's starting to roll.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I think, look, man, I really think the great thing is if they can get the train back on the tracks or the plane to be more settled after this turbulence, I think we're in such a solid spot. There's so many actors and actresses that would be so good for so many roles in Marvel, and there's tons to do.
Yeah.
Of course, did we already hit the key time of comics? Yeah. But once we
get characters
we hit Infinity War, Endgame, but now we're getting to a huge part. Unfortunately, if Secret Invasion was a little bit better, I think we'd be in such a good spot.
That.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but now the more I looked at it, I was like, okay, that wasn't great.
That ending was
I really
atrocious.
do think
really the second half was
the first
so
half was pretty solid. The first half was good. I was like,
it was a solid start.
It was a really solid
Maria
start.
Hill,
and then
the twist in the first scene with what's his name? The Hobbit guy?
Nathan. Nope, don't know.
No.
I got nothing, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking. He's some agent or something like that.
Agent Ross?
Yes, that's Ross. Yeah, it's Ross. It's Ross.
Your boy's always on.
The last thing I'll say as far as anything Marvel is that there have been plenty of times that not just us, other people will see a really good trailer or the actual thing will come out and it's good and it's like, we're back for good. And then the next thing they release,
we're not so back.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is a pretty vicious cycle we've been in lately. Hopefully that changes with Deadpool 3 and stays in the right track.
I also think, though, we haven't... Think about it, though. Have we said there was going to be a really good movie that wasn't besides Ant-Man? Like, you were more hesitant about Ant-Man. I thought it was going to be solid. I still think it wasn't too bad. But, like, again, I was way hyped on it. It ended up not being that great. But I feel like there's been nothing...
Also, there's been nothing else besides that. In
fact, think we're going to look back.
I thought The Marvels was going to be bad, and I actually was pleasantly surprised by The Marvels.
I think Quantumanium is going to be one that we look back on. We're like, all right, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't.
I never thought
there was more content.
I just thought it was a little disappointing. In a sense.
Well, of course. I mean, I think we wanted Kang. I think we wanted Kang to just go in there and just destroy shit.
Yeah. And the way they ended Quantumania was just so weird to me.
But I honestly, though, it's better that they ended it that way because you have a scapegoat with what happened. If they didn't end it that way and he was on a reign of terror,
you're right.
You're then in a situation where you do need a recast and you need to figure something out.
Right.
Where now they could be like, oh, well, the TVA got him.
Yeah.
And you could just wash your hands.
Loki
be like,
season 2 kind of secured that.
That's what I'm saying. So you swept it under the rug, you figured it out, but now you can be, again, like I told you, I love the concept of them bringing another one into the role and being like, no, this was the superior Kang, another actor.
Which I think they're doing.
That wipes out all of them, like just says, hey, like, fuck it, I just destroyed all of you, you're all weaklings, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. New guy comes in, and then he's the new big bad. Yeah. Or just don't touch it. If Jonathan Majors gets figured out, again, I don't think they'll ever bring him back.
If it is, right. Even if his whole situation does get figured out for the benefit of him, they're not bringing him back.
I think,
Jonathan Majors, no way.
I don't want
Kang. Yeah, I think they're going to keep him around.
Look, let's say this. I hope, if it's deserved, that we find out there was more to the story or less to the story, or whatever, that he gets his comeuppance in some way. I'm saying not in a bad way, but Robert Downey Jr. was a drug addict.
Right.
Aggressive
James
drug
Gunn
addict.
got canceled. Not
James
for the
Gunn
most
got
serious thing.
No, but something serious,
still,
and then got
fired.
And then he got hired back.
Right, for Guardians 3, the holiday special, both amazing.
At the end of the day, if it's possible, and it works, and it can be a thing, then awesome.
I could see it potentially happening.
But, at this point, I don't think they're bringing in Silver Surfer and Galactus in quick enough that they can then bring him back. Like, I think you have to bring him in immediately.
I don't think Galactus is the main bad for this saga, the multiverse saga.
No, but I'm saying Kang, you'd have to bring it, you'd have to have right now. Like, he'd have to be present now until Galactus and Silver Surfer come, and then it's a swap. In comparison to where now we're Silver Surfer and Galactus are the next thing up. They are after all of this eventually comes down.
I've said this on the pod early in the pod days. Galactus is the true end game. Like, he might eat the main Earth like at the end, and that's it. No more MCU movies. I think
be a wild ending.
I think we still got Magneto as a big Avengers bad guy. I think we still have Doctor Doom as a big Avengers bad guy.
Oh, well, no,
before Galactus.
You're right. Sorry, Doctor Doom. Yes.
Magneto, dude.
Magneto, yes, but I don't know.
He's huge.
I'm so excited to see what they do because I would love for them to bring back. Those are the only good things of those old movies.
Well, both people that played Magneto were excellent. You got Fassbender, Michael Fassbender, and then the other guy who he also plays.
I think he's a Sir something.
Yeah, he is. Ian McKellen.
Good pull. Good pull.
I was proud of myself on that one.
That was a good pull. If it's the right guy.
Yeah, and then even both the people that played Xavier. James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart, they were phenomenal with the casting. Fox,
yeah.
When it came to the X-Men.
Yeah, Fox knew what they were doing for the most part. They knew what they were doing.
I thought they did phenomenal with. I mean, obviously Wolverine, Deadpool. Storm. I mean, Halle Berry was a pretty good Storm too.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think I really do think it would be so solid if they gave it back to McAvoy and Fassbender. I really do. I would not be mad. No,
wouldn't mind it.
Again, people are gonna say just do a full hard reboot. Like, sure, but
part of me also still agrees with that. But like, we're in the multiverse.
But look at what they
now,
just did.
We
said that, and the first person on X-Men that we could get was not a reboot.
I know.
So
I know.
And again, Would I love a new Wolverine in this movie? Yeah. I would love an Earth 737 or whatever Wolverine.
And I hope we see like
bro
Tager Egerton or like
I would love
someone.
I'm not as in on Daniel Radcliffe. I just don't think that's it. I think
me neither, but more
Taylor Edgerton. I would love, bro. That would be such a good casting. I think him to kill this Wolverine in the movie, like because you have to kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like he's now threatening your Earth or something like that by him not dying.
Right.
I think that would be because again, you send Hugh Jackman off, you let him do it, which this also sucks because Logan was such a fucking good ending.
I know.
Logan was such a good ending to it, and I kind of
Hugh Jackman though wouldn't have.
He wouldn't have come back he wouldn't have because he has too much respect for that character and that series. Yeah. So I get that.
And he trusts in Ryan Reynolds. They're like the best of friends.
Oh yeah,
anyway,
they're great.
So yeah.
Only other thing I have to say.
Yeah.
You checking out the new Amazon Prime TV show?
New Amazon Prime TV show.
Fallout?
No, and the reason why is because I never played the games.
Never did either. Solid
You're
ass
the
show.
second person that told me they never played the game.
Solid
Still
ass
watch
show.
it.
Solid ass
It already got renewed for season 2 because of the reception it's been getting.
It's so good. It's so solid.
Everyone's loving it.
I asked Todd about it because Todd's a big Fallout guy. Huge, knows lore, history. I texted him. I was like, tell me what this is about in the quickest way possible.
See, that's the other thing, too. I still have no idea what Fallout... I'm assuming it's some post-apocalyptic world.
Correct. So basically, this company, Easy Way, SparkNotes, and if I'm wrong, obviously correct me, it's where technology never really advanced past the 50s. With a micro with a switch or whatever, blah blah. Doesn't really matter. Does matter. So the world advances, but it never gets past those old school dresses and like those
and the music and everything,
and TVs and the music and everything.
I've seen people.
So
play
then
games
a company,
with the music. It's classic.
So a company comes in and basically makes vaults because they're on the brink of a nuclear war with not Russia but China. That's like whatever.
Oh, okay.
So then all this is happening. Blah blah blah. All these different things happen. The rich people are supposed to go to the vaults, but the vaults are really just. The vaults are more just where they're testing people. Like, they don't realize it, but they're just running, like, sick and disgusting tests on people in the vaults. Some of them are fine.
Yeah.
But some of them are not, and then some of them are made to believe it's the perfect world, and this is how we're going to save humanity or whatever, and then you go to the surface world, and there's people that are still alive and operating, but it's just the wild west of the above ground, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's like a quick... Awesome. Really solid. Really good.
I'm so happy that we're finally getting good TV video game movies and TV shows. Like, actually good
I've heard Far Cry is
shows.
apparently in talks to do it. They said Cillian Murphy's apparently supposed to be a bad guy in the game.
In the game, yes, I saw that.
But I think that could be a really good way to intro him if he doesn't die off in the game to making it into a
yeah. Well, Far Cry is famous for the people they use as their villains.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
They had Giancarlo Esposito as the past one.
Which that guy was just in The Gentleman on Netflix, and
I heard that's good too.
Also solid.
Yeah.
Also very solid. Yeah. I very much, if you like Guy Ritchie movies and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Guy Ritchie too.
I've been watching a lot of good TV lately. I've been very, very happy about it.
Maybe, we're filming the thing next Tuesday, but eventually I think I said this last pod too, that new Henry Cavill movie, I am going to see it.
I want to see that. I want to see Civil War, Planet of the Apes. Those are my next three.
And Planet of the Apes, is this the end of this month? Shit,
it's coming, I think, like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Civil War, awesome reviews. Awesome reviews.
Yeah, I heard.
Really, but I heard it just kind of at the end just stops. Like I heard that's like the one.
Like
I heard.
Ending?
I heard the ending is kind of like
I heard what's her name does great for her like first time coming back in a while.
Kirsten Dunst. Yep. Kirsten
Dunst. Yeah.
No, I heard it's really good. I heard the action's really good. I heard it's a very good suspenseful movie. I heard that too. You're watching it.
Remember the one thing I was worried about it?
A race war.
Not necessarily race wars, but like things that are happening now.
Yeah, of course.
I heard it's not really about that at all.
And that's what I told you. I was saying. I was like,
I know.
I
heard. Did say that
because I felt the same way. If I was gonna watch it and feel like I was like, this is just a Democratic or a Republican.
Right.
It's just a smear campaign.
Right.
I was like, I'm not in, because I don't want that. Like, again, I've always said, I keep my politics out of the stuff I like that. But no, I heard that one guy, Jans, what's his name? No, the guy that does the videos, James Jans or whatever.
Jeremy Johns. Love him.
Yeah. Awesome. He even said, he was like, I was prepared for it to be some kind of like political whatever, and he's like, I was just waiting. I was like, oh, nope, it wasn't anything, which was nice, because I said, I'm like, that's what I did not want.
Yeah.
And I think they did a good job with making California and Texas, where they're like completely not the same, but they ally, with each other. So I heard it's really good.
A24's biggest opening,
because A24 is
biggest
ballers.
opening. Yeah, they're good for them.
That's them.
All right,
cool. Let's run it.
We got our top 5 favorite parody movies. I'll do my 5 and 4, and then you do.
I got 2 honorable mentions.
Oh, you know what? I actually had no honorable mentions this time at all.
See, I've got 2 that are tied in my top 5, of course, because you guys know I love doing that for you. Because they were ones I really couldn't keep on the outside. Scary Movie is an honorable mention. Again, classic. Everyone, that's kind of what people think of. Again, for our age at least. And then Not Another Teen Movie.
Never seen that.
Terribly amazing.
Good.
I used to, in college and in high school, I used to know I used to hang out with guys that loved it, like would watch it all the fucking time.
Isn't Chris Evans in that one?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is in that.
So,
he was a goofball back
those
in the
were
day.
ones. Yeah, those were ones there that just were. I mean, they're honorable mentions. They didn't make my top 5. They didn't get on my list, but if you want, I can do my 5 and my 4 just from it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
My 5 is Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I when I was looking up all the parody movies, I saw that on there. I was like, maybe.
I think Shaun of the Dead is what got me into zombie movies. So
that's
why I think, and I think for me, I liked it because it was light. It was fun.
Yes.
Like, it was like, cool. Because again, I'm weird. I'm not really the biggest horror guy.
Right.
I like realistic horror in that sense of the zombies, right? Like, I like a survival, like we have to fight this off. We have to survive it, XYZ. Like, I like that. So I think Shaun of the Dead was fun for me because I was like, you're watching it and you're like, oh, this is stupid. This is funny, but it's also like realistic. Oh my God, what would you do if you got trapped in a bar with your buddies during the zombie apocalypse and then your buddy dies? You chain him up and you play video games with him all day. So like, spoiler. But like, I thought that was so good. I mean, again, those movies are all classics with those guys.
Yeah.
Like they make just such good, like Hot Fuzz. A lot of people. Simon Pegg.
Right?
Yep. Loves Hot Fuzz is another really famous one by them. They loved the cop. It was the cop one. It came out a couple years after this.
Oh, did it?
People loved it. I didn't love it as much, but another good one.
The only thing Simon Pegg really is in nowadays is Mission Impossible.
Yeah, and he's huge in Mission Impossible. They love him.
Movies, yeah.
And my number 4 is Team America.
Yeah, I looked that one up too. So my thing with that, I don't consider that, because what is it spoofing necessarily? I get where you're coming. I get where you're coming from with that.
Action movies.
I guess so. I guess that's.
Think about it. That is the epitome of making fun of White House Down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
right.
London is Falling, whatever the fuck the names are. Like, but like it really is making fun of those tropes of
without
like, we have to go in and we have to do that. So like, I mean, I love that movie. I think it's hilarious.
I do count it as a parody movie. But
I know what you mean.
Why I didn't put it on my list.
Yep,
is because
I get
of
that.
The reason
I get that. But that's my 5 and my 4.
All right, my number 5 is a movie that is like really bad, but I was younger. I laughed at everything.
Wait. I know what it is too.
Epic Movie.
Yep.
So there was a couple like this.
My God.
Epic Movie was like towards the end of this
we used
parody
to watch
movie
them,
run.
Bro, they were so bad.
So bad. Like I think after Epic Movie, it was like Disaster Movie, and then Meet the Spartans.
Oh my God.
I think after Meet the Spartans, it really ended.
Dude, Meet the Spartans was so bad.
Yeah, but Epic Movie. The reason why I love that one is because it dealt with a lot of the movies that I loved. Mm-hmm. They covered Pirates of the Caribbean. Yep. They covered some Star Wars in that one. Oh the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka.
Oh my God,
that's actually a pretty good scene with the Wonka dancing and the Oompa Loompas killing the kids and everything like that. But that's like, out of all the ones, this is on my top 5. That one has is the most terrible, cheap laughs. But I loved it back in the day.
It's nostalgia. Part of it's nostalgia. Yeah, part of it is nostalgia. I have some on most of my list is nostalgia based stuff, which is great.
Me too. But as it goes on closer to number one,
they're better.
Yes, they are better. Yep. Yeah. And then
I think we're gonna have the same number one.
Maybe
a hot take, but I think so.
My number 4, you might be a little mad at me at this. If it's not on your list at all, I'm going to be mad at you for this.
Okay.
You might be mad at yourself. Spaceballs?
It's on my list.
It is. Okay. All right. I was just making sure.
It's on my list.
I mean, just making sure we weren't losing you.
Of course, bro. No, I love Spaceballs is great. I had Spaceballs on DVD.
Me too. That's how I saw it. My dad introduced me to it because he loved it.
Dude,
Barf.
So
what's Han Solo? I forgot the parody name of Han Solo. It's something funny too, though. But Barf is the one I really mainly
yogurt
remember.
And Barf.
Yeah,
yogurt.
Wait, yeah.
Instead of Yoda, it was yogurt.
Yes. May the Schwartz be with you. Very, very classic lines and scenes from that movie. The reason why it's so low on my list is because, as we all know, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I didn't appreciate most of the spoofs as others, but still a fantastic movie, and it's probably one of the oldest parody movies out there, no?
Yeah, I think there's... when I was looking through the list, there was a lot of older ones that I was not as aware of, just stuff that I hadn't watched before, stuff that I wasn't as well-versed in.
Yeah.
But there were a couple old classic ones that kind of got it rolling.
Yeah.
And then I think this came around in the 80s. So you're right with it being... I don't think it's one of the first. I think it's one of the most popular.
Yeah, and probably one of the more prevalent ones that did get that ball.
I think it definitely would be top 10 in popularity.
Media.
Because, and I'll be honest, I think spoof movies, I think you can, not maybe us, but I think more people would name older spoof movies than newer ones.
Oh, I think so too.
You know, we'll get on with the rest of the list. I don't want to spoil some of these, but...
Okay, so this might... You don't have to say if any of these movies are on your list, but a lot of...
No.
No,
because you're gonna spoil it.
Okay, I might.
I think.
All right. Well, we'll see as we go on.
Yeah,
that's my 5 and 4. You could go on.
My number 3, and I'll get really quick to it because my number 3.
I'm so
is a tie between 2.
Okay.
Blazing Saddles.
Yep, I was about to say Gene Wilder movies. Yep.
And I knew, and so Blazing Saddles / Young Frankenstein were my tie.
Dude,
like, again,
Young Frankenstein would have definitely been on this list. Oh, dude, why? Actually, I could switch it.
Young Frankenstein is better than Blazing Saddles most people
I agree.
I only know it because I knew Blazing Saddles longer, and we've watched Blazing Saddles together here in this basement.
Did we?
Yup, we have. I remember.
Really? I don't remember
it
that.
At Maddie K's. Bro, we watched it when the TV was in that little area.
We
watched it when it was... My favorite thing, this is none of you are going to give a shit, but my favorite thing to remember is we came here for a sleepover one time, and I think it was with... I don't remember whose birthday or whatever. Me, you, Pat Williams, Jake... I want to say Chorman was here, and that might have been it. If not, maybe Smalley. Smalley would make sense if he was also here. I want to say
Trattini was probably here, no?
I don't think so.
No, really?
I don't think so. And we watched the Mike Myers Rob Zombie.
Oh, yeah, I remember that night.
Like 20 minutes of it, and we were like, I think we're just going to hang the rest of it.
You're right.
We turned it off so quick. We watched 20 minutes, and we were all like...
So fun. I remember
we were all trying to be fucking like tough guys, and we watched 20 minutes, and we're like...
Turn the lights off.
Yo, you guys want to watch like anything else?
Yeah. I'm bored.
Like, nah. Yeah, this shit sucks. Like fucking pissing your pants. Like, oh my god, you know. But we've watched it. I know for a fact we've watched at least maybe not all of it, part of it here.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, like again, Gene Wilder's one of those original people to do it. He's one of the best to ever do it. I heard he's an asshole, if I'm not mistaken.
I heard a little bit of that too.
But sometimes some of the best to do it are pricks. Yeah. Unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. My number 3, that's a tie. My number 3A or B, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, so those are movies I barely got into.
Yep. So I remember specifically, first time I ever watched Monty Python was at Jake.
Could I say a name? Because this is how I got introduced to Monty. Nate Rossman?
It wasn't Nate Rossman, but I watched it with Greg Ippolito and Dan Mattia.
Oh, they eat that shit up.
Of course, they eat that shit up.
Yeah, they eat that shit up. Yeah,
so we... Oh my God, whose fucking house was that? I don't remember whose house it was. Bro, sleepovers back in the day for us were so good. Now, it sucks that kids now are like, I'm not to tangent, but like it's so crazy to think like parents don't want their kids going to sleepovers anymore. Isn't that nuts?
Is really?
Yeah, like for like the things that go on at sleepovers like now, because technology and shit's different. Like, we just missed it. Like, we were on Xbox Live all night.
Yeah, right.
But, like, now kids can go on their phone and
shit going on, but
people
like,
do fucked up shit now. That's unfortunate. Like, kids bully people. They do weird fucked up shit. Yeah. Bro, we used to bully our boys, but it was your boys. So you could bully your boys. You're allowed to bully your boys.
Yeah, and nothing was being, like, recorded
or
I
only stuck a couple things up. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But,
no, it's fucked up that you bring that.
But no, it
didn't even cross my mind, but I guess that shit does.
My wife has brought it up to me before. She's like, would you let our kids go to sleepovers? And I'm like, what? I'm like, is this a fucking...
Yeah, right.
I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And she tells me, and I'm like, oh, I guess not. But, you know, again, I think it's all different. You know, again, you don't get into that spot until you become a parent. And
correct,
again,
right.
I mean, we were lucky enough. We had such a good friend group that it worked.
Yeah, I think it would be depending on the friend that you're going to sleep with.
I mean,
bro, you know what I'm saying?
But it's also way different. It's also way different because of the time we spent together. Bro, we would ride bikes all day, go to someone's house, go back to our own houses, to then meet up on bikes again, to then stay at someone's house, and then ride your bikes home the next. Like, that's just how we lived. It was so good. It was so good. Not to go on a nostalgia trip, but they got me into Monty Python, and I think Monty Python for me was one of those movies that got me really into comedies and stuff, because I was like, this is funny, and it's old. And that was 15 years ago I watched it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm dying at this. Like, I think this is hilarious.
I'm going to quote Conan O'Brien, who was just recently on Hot Ones. I don't know if you watched the episode.
I love Hot Ones, but I didn't. But
that was a great episode of Hot Ones. Love Conan.
That's your boy.
He said comedy is comedy. Look at all the old stuff. Read all the old stuff. It's still... A lot of it is still fucking hilarious.
Bro,
like, don't judge it just by its time period.
That's why when I went to comedians, George Carlin was still on my list. Bro.
Right. It doesn't matter, but I love that he said that.
But it's so funny to see it, because now it's like what's crossing the line now back then was crossing the line in a different way, because the bar has been pushed.
Yeah.
But back then, they were still saying fucked up shit. For then, it was fucked up. People were like, oh my God. And then they went about their days, and it was what it was.
Yeah.
And I say this every time we bring up comedy shit. Bro, shut the fuck up. Because... you can't, like, I hate when you read those stories about someone that went to a comedy show and got offended.
Dude, I can't stand. I see TikToks of like hecklers like that.
You went to a comedy show. If the comedian's bad, it is what it is. Like, if they're just pulling shit out and they're just being racist or an asshole or whatever, it's different. But you went to a comedy show. Why did you think you weren't going to get picked on? Like, that's the point. Yeah. That's the point. So I hate when you do that. And now it's like, we live in this world. We live in a society. There we go. There it is. We live in a society now where it's like everybody, and like we have to do it in the regular day to day.
Yeah.
Where we got to dance around all this shit. And it's, again, this isn't in a bad way. Like, I respect however you feel. I really don't care.
That's not the bad thing about it.
You're not bothering me.
That's not the bad thing about it.
But I'm not going to just fucking I'm not gonna go by how your life has to be operated. Life does not work like that.
Right.
Life works that you go about your day one way, I go about mine, and we just do it. But if I'm not crossing over into yours, I'm not gonna fucking it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I just hate when people do that shit. It's not my problem. You were annoyed by a joke.
Yeah.
That's the reason it was a joke. He
didn't
just go on a subway and look at you and say, what is that? Like,
right.
That's not...
I also think that's the reason why comedy movies aren't really comedy movies anymore.
No, they can't
You're not going to see, besides a Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, you're not going to see a Gene Wilder movie.
They're so bad.
No, exactly.
People would have a mental breakdown. Yeah. But is what it is. My two, Ty, Spaceballs, like we brought up. Yes. Spaceballs was, again, another one of those that got me. And, again, I had loved Star Wars already to that point.
Yeah.
So then I watched Spaceballs, and I'm like, oh, this is fucking great.
Hell yeah.
I love this. This is hilarious.
Love that.
I mean, there's such good scenes. Just... that kind of comedy is just so funny to me because it's that, like, repetitive comedy of, like, you know, like, the mask falls, the mask goes up, the mask falls, the mask goes up. You know, we do that, like, goes around. What did you say? Like, that stupid shit.
I'm just remembering his name too. What was it? Darth Helmet.
Darth Helmet.
Darth Helmet. That's classic.
But so
classic,
good.
Yeah.
Again, such a good childhood. I remember having it in the DVD, the old school. Remember the thin DVD boxes? Remember, when it was like I don't want to say knockoff, but like it wasn't a thick like Blu-ray DVD case. It was a thin one, and it barely had any papers on the inside. You're like, like it literally was like you like went about your DVD collection like you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude, I got this on Blu-ray, and people are like, yo, he's got it on Blu-ray. Like back in the day, it was so fucking funny.
A little bit of a pet peeve of mine when it comes to DVDs. Like I can't stand when DVDs just come in like it almost looks like a vinyl thing, but a mini version of it where you just slide the DVD in.
Oh, the worst,
the square.
Oh, the worst.
I hate that. I hate that. I'd rather an actual DVD case. Well, it looks better on a shelf.
I also don't really DVDs. I don't really do.
No, I don't anymore either.
DVDs
I used
are
to
hilarious because I really think DVDs had a less of a lifespan than VHS tapes did, and I don't mean that. I don't mean that in like the longevity, because again, you could plug a Blu-ray, you could plug a disc into like a computer that you have now and stuff. It's different. Yeah, but I more just mean like VHS controlled, bro.
Dude,
when you had to do the rewind,
they were
pumping
and you out everything into
everything.
VHS is the Netflix of
of course,
the past.
But I just DVDs just were like, people were like, oh my god, DVDs are changing the world, which they did for a hot second. And then it just there was no advancement with them. You know what I mean?
Besides like the Blu-ray, and then I think there was something even more technologically advanced than Blu-ray, but it. You know, that was really the end of that time period.
Bro. It was streaming. Yeah. We went from that to that, and you know, I mean, it's
Netflix really did change.
Netflix changed the world. Netflix changed the world with it. It really did.
Yeah.
And then the other number 2 on my tie is Austin Powers.
Okay. Do you have a specific one or just that?
Just
franchise?
the whole franchise I put in there just because I thought it was easier. I mean, the first one is fantastic. The second one is great too. Third one's not as good in my opinion. What is that?
Gold member.
Gold member. Yep.
Yeah.
They're all still so good. I remember specifically my Aunt Mary, shout out Aunt Mary, loved these movies. And, bro, it was so funny because, like, we didn't watch it as much at my house, but when we'd go and my Aunt Mary would babysit us, she'd put it on. And it was so funny because we didn't have a fucking clue. Yeah. And I always make this joke, same thing with Seinfeld. Like, I did not know Seinfeld, and when my parents used to watch it, I'm like, what is this? And we're always laughing. And I'm like, what are you guys laughing at? And they're like, you don't get it. You wouldn't get it.
Right.
So it's so funny that I watched Austin Powers all those years, and I'd laugh at, like, the sharks with freaking laser beams on their head. But I didn't get all the other references, like a lot of vagina and, like, all those other things. I had no fucking clue. I'm like, that's a weird-ass name. Like, twins, Basil, twins. Oh, cool. I've only met a couple sets of twins in my life, but in my head, I'm fucking however old. I'm like, I'm not putting 2 and 2 together.
Right.
And then you watch it when you're a little older, and you're like, I get it now. I get it.
But probably like when you were younger watching the Austin Powers movie, like the funniest things had to have been like Fat Bastard.
Oh, dude, so funny. The sumo rationing. The mole. And he shit. Remember when Fat Bastard shit in the thing and he's like doing it? Or when the guy's choking Austin Powers out and the guy thinks next to him he's taking a shit. I'm there with you, buddy. I'm there with you.
Yeah.
And then he goes into the stall and it's the dead guy. And he's like, holy shit, man. What did you eat for lunch? You know, like just like shit like that is so funny. And that's why like, you know, comedy for me, like, that was just my advancement into comedy. Again, it wasn't super vulgar, it wasn't super over the line, but it was just that, oh my god, like, this is so dumb. You know, and that's why, listen, that's why a lot of people don't like Will Ferrell stuff. I love Will Ferrell stuff, but a lot of people don't like it because they think it's that dumb comedy. Yeah, but I just think that's great, you know? I even was going to put on here Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights.
I was also thinking the guy who's also in Talladega Nights.
Oh, Dewey Cox.
Dewey Cox.
Dewey Cox. Yes. Yeah, I was thinking about Dewey Cox. I was more honorable mention with that. And Ricky Bobby, it would be in my top 5. It'd probably be tied for my one.
Ricky Bobby's great.
It would. It's my favorite. Yeah. And, bro, I grew up watching NASCAR, so, like, for me, I still watch NASCAR to this day. So, for me, dude, I love NASCAR. I'm going to NASCAR this upcoming weekend.
Really? Are you?
I'm going to Dover.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's going to be 80 degrees. And next time you see me, I'm going to be fucking sunburnt as shit. It's going to be terrible. But no, dude, so good. So, you know, Austin Powers is up there. Again, throw Ricky Bobby into my number 2 list as well if you want. But
I want you to say your number 1 now because I'm gonna think out loud, reorganizing my 3, 2, 1. So you could go right ahead.
My number 1. Do you have any guess?
Okay, if I had to guess, we said a lot already.
I know. You see, you're gonna be mad though. You really are. It's because I thought it was your number one too.
Oh, right. We did say that before.
We talked about this person on the podcast already today. Yep. He's involved in the MCU. One of the main characters in the movie.
Whoa. I don't know. Go ahead.
It's a war movie.
The only war movie that No, Tropic Thunder?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder is my number one.
See, for me, good. That's a good one.
Yeah. Not in your top five?
I wouldn't have personally counted that as a spoof movie.
Really?
Yes.
Why, though?
I see that more of its own original. I would put that in a war movie category.
No, it's not a movie.
I swear to God.
No, but they're making fun of. But no, dude, come on, that's a spoof movie.
I'm telling you what, on the schedule we have war movies coming up.
You can't put Tropic Thunder on.
It's on there.
You cannot put Tropic Thunder on war movies, dude.
It's on there.
No, you can't.
Why not?
Can't because I could name 100 better war movies than Tropic Thunder.
Sure, but then that's your top five list.
Don't do that. Don't do that to me, please. Don't do that to me, please. I have such a respect for war movies, and I'm such a war movie.
I know you would like that topic.
Please don't.
Okay,
wait.
Yeah, I wouldn't. All right, fine. If not a war movie, I still don't consider it a parody movie. I consider it just a regular comedy movie.
But it's making fun of the industry and the actors in what they do in Hollywood.
So, like, then would you have counted This Is the End as a parody movie? Because that's basically the same gist. They're playing themselves as actors. If an apocalypse happens.
I would have. If you would put it on your list, I would have been like, I get it. I see it.
I mean, I respect the number one choice.
Tropic Thunder, I also put it up there because of just what it did for the industry. I mean, like what Robert Downey Jr. poking fun at that and how everything goes.
Yeah.
And then again, it's supposed to be
even what Ben Stiller did in that.
No, of course, but that's the whole thing. I love how they went about it because they made it into that fun. It's a spoof movie because it's supposed to make fun of them being actors and actresses in that realm.
Yeah.
And being divas and being annoying and being dramatic and doing all that stuff. So, yeah, I understand where you're like, it's not exactly that, but it's supposed to make fun of how the industry is and how a method actor and all this stuff. So that's why I considered it there for me. But
I want to say so bad that I consider it that, but I'm not because I already have I don't want to change up my list too much.
That's fine. Put it as an honorable mention.
I don't even want to disrespect that movie by doing that. Like, if it's going to be...
Put it as a tie. Put it as a tie. Put it as a tie.
First time ever for me.
First time tie.
Fine. All right.
Ah, there we go. I convinced him.
All right.
I'm excited. 3, 2, and 1.
I got to knock out... Actually, no.
Well,
we're going to do 2 ties here.
Let's talk this out.
What?
Give me all your ones.
Okay.
And let's work it out together.
My original...
And the guess.
My original 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Number 3 was the original Scary Movie.
Okay, cool.
Number 2 was Scary Movie 2. Which I liked better. And then my number 1, you said this was the weakest one out of all of them. Goldmember. Loved Goldmember.
Okay. So then how I would do it...
I'm knocking out the original Scary Movie.
How I would do it...
Or tie Scary Movie 1 and 2 at 3.
I would tie Scary Movie 1 and 2
That's what I'm doing.
At 3.
Yeah.
And then I'd put Goldmember at 2 and Tropic Thunder at 1.
Yes.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Because I think you also love Tropic Thunder as much as I do.
I do. I do.
But
I have to add some... Okay, all right.
Oh.
This is what we're going to do.
Keep talking through it. Keep talking through it.
No, this is set in stone now. Ready?
Oh.
Scary Movie 1 and 2, tied for 3.
Okay.
My number 2 is just going to be Austin Powers and Goldmember. My number 1 is going to be a tie between Tropic Thunder and Young Frankenstein. Because Young Frankenstein, I fucking love that movie.
I knew you loved it, and that's why when I said it, I was like, wait, shit, he doesn't have it.
I did it.
Your number 1 ended up being 2 that you didn't have on your list.
I know. So, first time ever doing a tie, I did 2 motherfucking ties. There we go.
This is why we do this. This is why we do this. This is why we do this shit. There we go. Oh my god, that was good. That was solid.
That was solid. That was solid list. Yeah, you gave me some revelations of what parody movies could really be.
Is Tropic Thunder a parody movie? Put it in the yes, put it in the no, put it in the comments.
We'll make a poll up. We'll put a poll up. I think you're going to win that one.
I don't think I'm going to.
No, you don't.
You all
so?
hate my guts, but that's besides the fact. What's right and what's wrong will be determined in real life, not by you guys. But whatever. And some other crazy stuff coming soon. I know we're talking about some crazy things. We won't. We won't say just yet. We won't say just yet. We have some big stuff coming. So if you support the channel and you have been with us since the get, we appreciate it. We thank you.
Yeah.
And stay tuned soon for some big announcements.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think you don't even have to be probably the hugest fan of the channel necessarily, but what's going to happen is I think most people will like.
If you support us,
yeah,
and you want to continue to support us venting and ranting and doing everything we can, or if not, you just want something nice
exactly. Right.
Life,
right,
then who knows? Maybe you'll be interested in what comes out next soon. We'll tell you when we get more information on it.
Yes, absolutely. But all right, guys, Luke, thanks for joining me this episode.
Of course. No problem.
For you guys at home, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Follow us on all social media platforms at Frank_video. Listen to this podcast audio-only version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. With all that being said, have a wonderful night, and peace out.
Peace. 5. Wendy's, Five Guys, 3-way tie, Waffle House.
Ooh, Waffle House. I didn't even think of.
Waffle House is a more southern spot. Yeah. I think there's one in Jersey, like deep down south. Like it's like in the boonies of Jersey.
What's crazy about Waffle House is that it's not everywhere in the world, but everyone knows of it.
Yep.
And I would even go as far as saying majority of the people in the U.S. have been to one at least once.
I don't think so. I disagree with you there, but
really?
I think everyone knows about it. But I don't think
everyone
been to
knows
one.
about it. I've been to one a couple times.
I've been to one a couple times too, but I feel like I know more people that know it but have never been.
Yeah.
I know a lot of, but I know what you mean. Like Waffle House is a staple, bro. It's fucking gas. It's so good.
And Waffle House is really, like, when you're talking about criteria as far as appearance of a fast food restaurants, nowhere near that. It literally treats itself as a diner.
And the price.